was thinking that it might kind of be cool, because they kept talking about how it was a big problem to have a talking spider, and I would really actually like to emphasize how in control of this new power and how back to herself, still greedy but not overwhelmed and animalistic, right? She's not the sort of herded cat anymore. She's back to herself, and she's now being devious, right? I would love to have her build a regular human face of the actor out of shadows that kind of hovers in front of her spider face.
Oh, that
and
would be cool,
and talks, just does all of the talking. I listening to episode 12 and the first part of episode 13 that I did listen to, I kept getting frustrated with how they're like, there's no way to do it without making it silly. I'm like, yes, there is. You just you need to think outside the box a little bit. You need to think with an animator brain instead of just a stage actor's brain.
Yeah. Right. There are things to be avoided, and it's true. We don't want Eric.
They identified all of them in great detail.
Those,
right, but so we can't do this is the wrong conclusion. I agree.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. No, there's we could do that. We could just have her face superimposed like shadowy. As if it's appearing in Melkor's mind when she telepathically talks to him. There's several ways that we can do that.
Yeah. I would like to see her build a face out of shadows very deliberately and have it do all of her talking for her. As she's tripping him up with shadows as he's trying to move over.
Yeah. And she, like, I would love for her to kind of like almost sing song and be like, with both hands shall I give it, like like
she definitely throws his words back at him.
Yeah.
And
right.
You know what could be fun is there you could have the shadow, her building the shadow. She could almost build like a body that the actor basically like a projection of a human body.
I would be happy to go that far.
Around Melkor, as you know, the spider thing is still over there.
Yeah.
Kind of like I'm thinking of Battlestar Galactica, where he had like 6 walking around Baltar all the time and being like creepy and weird, and she wasn't really there, but she kind of was, and it was like you didn't know what to think. Like that.
I would be happy going any direction with that. Like, basically, I want this to be a real display of now I'm in control, and this is not we're gonna play this my way. I'm not done listening to you. Yeah. And this is very clearly something he did not expect to happen. Like he is. Yeah. Right. I don't think he starts out afraid per se, but by the time he actually cries out in pain, he's very, very terrified of the monster that he's unleashed.
Yeah. And also, even when the Balrogs show up, I want it to not be a foregone conclusion.
Yeah.
That's the point where we have her erupt out of the shadows in full, right in your face spider form.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we see exactly what she is. And she is like, she's got billions of eyes, and it's just terrifying.
Yeah. One verbal cue of sorry.
Go on.
One verbal cue of her switch from "you're in charge" to "I'm in charge" is that in the very beginning when he recruited her, she may have called him master or something,
right?
Because he was in charge. By this point, she's calling him Blackheart.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
So she's certainly not calling him master anymore.
No. Not by this point.
Yeah, and I think that some of the language needs to kind of drive that.
She can't call him Morgoth. Obviously, I would be okay with like an English translation of Morgoth, but I don't think she should be able to say it until after Fëanor says his piece.
Morgoth means black enemy, so
she can say Blackheart. Yeah.
So Blackheart is her version of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And I would like to see her charge the Balrogs and have them actually they absorb it, but they fall back. Like she
should wrap a bunch of them up right off the bat in shadows she should extinguish their flame with shadows. Right.
I have to imagine she jumps on at least one and takes them out before the other ones figure out what's going on. The only reason she's not going to win this battle is because there's 9 of them or so maybe left. I forget how many left.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, so they start using their flame whips and try to drive her away, but they end up just driving her off, not killing her.
Yeah, they can't.
And you have 9 Balrogs who can't kill something.
Yeah.
That's pretty.
Plus Melkor.
Well,
Right,
he's.
like,
I think he's still stuck to the ground.
He's out.
Like he can be. No, not that he's down for the count. Like he can be loosing himself out, but basically only his spear arm is free, and that gives him the space to do what he needs to do, and makes him less than he's not easy prey, but he's definitely not helping them fight her off.
He's tied down.
Yeah, he's stuck to the ground.
Yeah.
Okay. So we get that, and then we go to Formanos.
Mm-hmm.
We see them. You know, the 3 brothers and sister, I guess, right? There's 5 siblings, right?
Yeah, there's 2 sisters as well.
Yeah. There's 5 siblings. I don't want a lot of dialogue in this scene.
Mostly weeping.
Right. I want to get, we got to have the sad music, and we have to see that Finwë died where he was standing the last time we saw him. And
well, we already walked past him, right? When we had that Melkor scene where he walks into the. No,
there was nowhere to put that.
We couldn't.
So we did cut it from. I thought we might cram it into.
The only way that we could do it is in flash.
No, that's fine. Yeah, we can come to it later if you want. In season 3.
For Finwë's body.
Did Melkor
do anything to it?
No. He's a fly. He
Other
was
than
swatted.
Crush it. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a fly that was swatted. What would be a kind of a neat thing to go back when we could go back and show that moment is when Fëanor actually dies.
Or even have Fëanor wake up from a nightmare at some point in early season 3.
No, he has no prescience. He is consumed and only
we will not be seeing things through Fëanor's point of view for very much longer.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
It'll be like Frodo and Mordor. It's just
all right. So, but what we could do, one thing I would like to do, is have Fëanor's sword broken. Not Fëanor, Finwë's sword broken, because a lot of what's been happening has been the elves arming up to defend themselves from Melkor, the Valar, people that they have no shot against, and this and to show that swords are no more used here.
Yeah.
Right. Whatever weapon Finwë was using gets busted. I agree.
Yeah.
I didn't actually picture him having a weapon, but yeah, that's fine. He can.
Well, I mean,
he can grab
weapons there. Yeah, he has access to them.
Yeah,
he's an idiot if he doesn't grab one.
Yeah.
I agree.
I just like
the
poignancy too of like a sword that was broken being established early on.
I actually don't care for that. I would like to avoid as much paralleling with Andúril.
Yeah, I'm not paralleling it with the Dunedain. I am paralleling it though with the invention of the sword. It was the invention of.
It's too superficial a connection to really be.
I'm not saying to make the connection.
But the
swords.
Yeah, well, the broken sword sends a.
It's a trope. It's a trope.
Right, and everybody knows that means something.
Yeah.
So
specific. Well, it means a lot of
there.
things.
Yeah.
Mostly phallic things, but whatever.
It doesn't mostly mean phallic.
It depends on how you define manhood, I suppose.
Anyway, so I mean, this is basically our tag here. Is we're getting back into Formanos. We see the siblings mourning their father. We'll see Indus. I want to see Nerdanel consider going to comfort her husband, because remember we had their relationship kind of sundering in episode 11. and to see her kind of consider going to him, but not knowing.
She's hanging back a little bit.
I would be
Right.
comfortable showing this as the beginning of a reconciliation for them, only to have it snatched away when he goes full crazy.
Yeah. Now, in the book, when he finds out that his father has been killed, he runs off into the night by himself, and no one sees him again until he shows up in Tyrion with torches.
Yeah.
So obviously we skipped that because we wanted to show him reacting to his father's dead body, which is a good choice.
Right.
But the
Well,
idea of Fëanor being broken by grief and being alone in his grief is still important.
Yeah, that's another thing I'm saying.
So rather than have
Despite
him run
being
off,
surrounded by his family, he's alone in his grief.
Rather than have him run off into the night, where we end this he I would say he takes the crown into his forge and shuts the door behind him, and nobody's allowed into the room. He's gonna, the implication being that he's gonna repair the crown exactly the same way that Melkor is building his crown, right? It's very, very parallel.
Well, here's the thing. We don't need to have shown the Silmarils in the fight between Melkor and Ungoliant. We don't have to have. We can show that there's something that he's keeping back from her. We don't necessarily have to tell everybody what it is, and we can actually.
If they don't know what it is, they haven't been paying attention.
Right.
But
I would
reveal.
Yeah. No, I would
reveal the broken vault here too.
Right. I would actually kind of like her to maybe make a comment about roasted meat. Like, you smell delicious, and I just can't wait any longer. Because at this point the Silmarils are already burning him. So like I would love for her to make like kind of a very wry, dry reference to the fact that he smells like bacon, basically. Not specifically bacon.
I know what you mean. But what I'm saying is that we have to reveal to Fëanor that Silmarils are gone.
Yeah.
All right. Even if the audience has figured out, we have to reveal to Fëanor. We have to get to the vault where he should be with the crown.
Yeah, he can't get to the vault without going over his father's dead body.
Right.
But we have to really sell the point that he stays with his father's dead body for quite some time. Like there might even be some dialogue that snaps him out of it.
Like, my lord, the vault is broken or something like that. You know.
I don't necessarily know that it should be the reference to the Silmarils, that the fact that they're missing that snaps him out of it. But somebody has to say something that kind of gets him out of like my father is dead mode. Should it be the Silmarils that shakes him out of it? Because that seems kind of petty and gross.
Yeah, it's Fëanor.
I know, but well, we want to have the potential for nice Fëanor for a minute, right?
No, we lost that. That's gone.
Yes, but the audience doesn't know.
Right. Like, do we? So, well, that is my question.
That's what I'm saying, though.
Do you want to sell it right? I mean, it's not going to be obvious and clear necessarily that. That's
what I'm saying is that this is the end of the season. We have to let people know where he is,
where it's going.
Oh, right. He needs to know that the Silmarils are gone. I agree. The question is,
what I mean is, we need to know.
Is that what shakes him out of his reverie, or his reverie?
If that's what shakes him out, it will be absolutely obvious where he is right now.
Yeah, I agree. I just don't know if we want to do that.
I think it's kind of a little too gross. Personally, I really don't like it, even for Fëanor.
I'm not saying that he steps over his body. I'm saying somebody comes over to him and says something to him, and then we cut to a shot of him walking.
Okay. Well, here's the deal. We can show the other people who are milling around discovering the vault busted open with all the stuff gone.
Yeah, but we have to see him in front of the vault.
We'll see that eventually, but the discovery of the vault is something we can show the viewer
in the silent phase.
Yeah. While Fëanor is still mourning, because we don't want to make it seem like it was too fast.
It's basically
And
a
when we
straight
come
shot,
back-
right? It's a straight shot from the vault to the front door. So we can
There's
just
some doors to go through.
we can angle it. Well, there were doors in the way, but they've all been torn off their hinges and the walls have been crushed, right? So, like,
Yeah.
I mean, that tracking shot that we got of him coming into Formanos and then going through there basically necessitates that it's more or less a straight line between the front door and the vault, right? So if we wanted to use that and we basically we don't even necessarily have to have somebody say anything. We could have him just look up from where his father's body is and then just follow, a shot over the shoulder shot and follow his line of sight straight to the broken pedestal where the Silmarils were.
Yeah.
Well, we wouldn't see his face until we switched because we would have to be over the shoulder to see that.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Well, what you can do is you could be at his right shoulder, looking at his face,
and then
right?
pan.
You have the camera here, pan up to here, as he's looking up, and then pan around to here, like right there.
Yeah, that would work really well. So now the question becomes: do we want him to? Does anybody want to say anything to him at all, or does he figure it out all on his own?
I think he's not an idiot.
He's not an idiot. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the next scene,
that's our shot
from there, right? And the next scene from there is
hesitate at all? Does he look back down at his father and then look up to the vault and kind of decide what he's going to do?
No.
Or does he then look at the crown and then pick up the crown and then take it?
What I would say is that we see the broken crown on Finway's head, right?
I don't know if it's on his head. That seems kind of gruesome.
Or you know what I mean? It's right there.
Yeah.
His head is in like 3 pieces, as far as I'm concerned.
Jesus Christ!
What?
I asked how bad
rated
this
NC-17.
Well, no. The point is, Melkor had to totally strike him down. There's either a major spear wound in this guy, or he was stomped on.
Right.
I don't think he was trampled. I think he was swatted on the head and he caved. He didn't cave in his skull, but that's the only way you get damage to the crown, right? The crown doesn't just fall apart when it hits the ground.
Well, that's the thing is that
he has to have
there's no way that crown is damaged without his head
being gone.
Like there could be a gash in his head, but his head should not be removed from his shoulders.
Finway,
it's brain trauma, but we're not going to see a lot of gore here.
Okay, Fingon is going to die by having his helm split in half by a Balrog. But the point is, the helm bursts open.
Yeah.
And
then your head bursts open.
Yeah, that's how that works. So that death scene is coming.
Yeah.
So it's not like this show has to not be able to show busted open heads. Now, I've seen artwork of dead Fingon where he was a very pretty dead person.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that there's, a bloody mark on his skull.
Yeah. I would go for well, I guess the comparison I would make is tasteful nudes, right? Like there needs to be blood, but it should not be gory. We should not be able to describe it as gory.
This is going outside the scope of our thing here.
Yeah.
That's true. This is really a question for makeup.
So there's a busted crown and presumably a busted head, but possibly just a mildly broken head instead of a squashed melon head.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but we're gonna get shots of other things going on, but that when we get down to Finway here, we're gonna see him looking down. He's looking down here, and then as he looks up, he's like you're gonna start to see his eyes start to do this one, right? As the camera's gonna come around up to here, we're gonna see the busted row of doors. And then the camera's gonna come all the way, not right in the face, but over here, and
I would maybe start with a profile.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like starting over here.
Yeah. You got it. You're a smart guy.
So I like to think so. So
give yourself a raise.
The next shot that we get, all right, is going to be Melkor holding his Iron Crown with the 3 Silmarils that we see aren't there. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
With his guys, like.
Well, he should kind of be hammering, like the front piece should basically the setting for the Silmarils should basically be made already. So he's hammering out the circlet that's actually going to hold the piece, right? So but we don't start with that, right? We come around to him the fact that there are 3 gaping holes where the Silmarils are gonna go. But he still is at the forge, like hammering out. It doesn't have to be totally complete. Like there could be spiky bits on it that he hasn't applied yet, and all whatever. But I kind of want that. I want that setting. Of course, that's the first thing he's gonna make, right? Of course, the Iron Crown is gonna start with the setting for the Silmarils. Yeah. Like I don't even know if that's reasonable to do for. I don't know anything about metalworking, but there's no other way that it doesn't start with the centerpiece, right? It has to. It has to begin with the thing that his thought is all consumed about.
We're gonna see Melkor making the Iron Crown.
Yeah, I would like to see both of them at the forge before the fade to black.
Okay. The deal is Melkor making something. I think we're past that. He doesn't make stuff anymore.
Yeah, he doesn't need a forge.
He will make.
Melkor totally does not need a forge to make the Iron Crown.
He will. Well, okay. He doesn't have to make a. Well, but I don't know. Forge is more.
Melkor I'm a little uncomfortable showing Melkor doing something creative and making a thing.
This is the last thing he makes, and it has to be the last thing he makes because he is literally making the collar that is going around his neck. Right. He has to make this.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just don't see any other way. He has to.
Yeah. That I mean, it is.
We can show him on a throne with a crown on his head. We don't need to show him making it.
No, but he needs to craft it with his hands. Like, and specifically the fact that this is the last. The fact that he's making a setting for his stolen goods, like that, he has become petty. He has become petty in this action, right? He is now the cartoon supervillain that we started with in the book that we have been working towards. And I don't see.
I'm just saying that this isn't a long involved shot. I would say that he is. I would prefer him to be just finishing it to the point where he can kind of like hold it up and admire it.
Yeah. Where he's admiring his handiwork, and then we go to Fëanor holding his crown. Fëanor. Basically, his admiring of his work, I would like to kind of have it not totally mirrored, but very similar, like the position of like Fëanor surveying the damage to the crown and then firing up his forge to get it started so he can fix it. Which of course the we might have to pan out to everybody else kind of standing outside the door going like, why the hell is he doing this now? Like that would be the thing we have to emphasize, is that this is not the appropriate response for a king to what has just happened.
I don't know that there's going to be that much of that, because like these people are all about to pack up and follow him too.
Well, so I know that, but I think in this moment he has left everyone without telling them what to do, and nobody knows what to do without like they're looking for leadership in this moment, and he is failing to get it.
Yeah.
So that's how I would. That's the reason.
Running off into the night moment.
Exactly. Yeah, this is where he runs off into the night. Instead of escaping into the night, he escapes into his workshop.
Right.
And it's like, I have to fix this crown so that I can be presentable at court, because
I don't think that's what he's thinking though.
Well, he's not actually thinking I have to be presentable at court, but he doesn't know what else to do except fix something. So
and it's Melkor broke this, I'm fixing it.
Yeah.
And this is like a good. This is a very good, small exercise of. I get what you're saying, Marie. He is taking the only thing he has control over in this moment, having lost everything.
He can't fix his dead dad. He can't fix his stolen stuff. He can't fix his smashed up everything.
And what he should be trying to fix. He should be trying to fix his community.
Yes,
but he has left. He has abandoned them.
Relationships. Yeah.
So there's like smashed palantiry and stuff around. Like there's busted stuff.
Yeah.
But this crown, he's gonna fix. Whatever.
Okay. All right. I have
And,
a Google Doc full of stuff.
If
Good.
we need reaction of somebody,
Learning that.
Fingolfin saw him pick up that crown.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that would be good too.
Fingolfin doesn't say anything because he's just promised to follow his older brother. But as soon as Fëanor picks up the crown, Fingolfin's got to be thinking, "Oh, yes, you're king now." Like,
Well, I mean, he would expect, he's basically saying that when they have their moment anyway. But
Right, but he's not expecting Finwë to die.
yeah, like
Finwë's supposed to be there for all eternity to mitigate the situation.
yeah,
basically, I
that's the
think
thing
when the crown is picked up, I think he immediately kind of doubles down on what he has promised to do. It's not a sense of foreboding like, oh, he's gonna be a dog shit king. Sorry, I didn't mean to. Yeah, excuse my French. I know we're a PG-13 show. My bad. I don't think that's where he goes immediately. I think
I was
think
about to say, well, it is 2:00 in the morning, and then I realized that it's not.
yeah,
Not
not
worried
for me.
about
Yeah. This is just how I am all the time.
it's possible that Fingolfin is recognizing it, but because, like you said, he's doubling down on what he said, he's not saying anything.
Yeah.
He's not
Right.
stopping Fëanor right now.
The decision that we're seeing him making is like, yep, and this is how it has to be.
Yeah, but he's just noticing and realizing and internalizing and reacting to all that. So
Right.
All right.
We need a cast full of Martin Freemans is the lesson that I have learned from this whole exercise.
Indeed.
All right. I think we did it, guys.
Woo!
And it only took 6.5 hours. What time is it? Is it 2 yet?
It's 2.
It's 3 in the afternoon, and the last time I checked was noonish. So, yeah.
Well, the good news is that we did the second hour in 2 hours.
Yeah. So we're mostly on
It
track.
took us 4 hours to do the first hour. And granted, the first hour was taken up with how the heck are we going to do this?
Yeah.
Anyway,
it took a while to get to the let's do a 2-hour show, and then it was like, that'll take even longer than usual.
Feel good about this because I just recently did a presentation for my work on how to improve writing for our little students who are not very good at writing, and it was all about planning and organization, and the way you make a good writer is you make a good project manager. Essentially, you teach them how to plan. So we're doing it correctly is the long way of what I'm trying. Is the short version of what I'm trying to say.
all right. So, all right, YouTube, thanks for joining us all this time. If you're watching us live, if you're watching us in the future, which I think at this point is all that's left. Anyway, if you are, definitely like and share the videos if you like and want to share them. If you haven't yet, feel free to subscribe. Check out the links below for Sigma University, Mythgard, Mythmoot 4 taking place June 1st to the 4th of this year. Exciting conference. Be there. And comment down below. Let us know how we're doing. It's been a great night. It's been a great season.
I'm gonna go have
Have a
breakfast
wonderful night, everybody.
at 3 in the afternoon.
Yeah, that's right. We haven't even let you eat it all today.